Good evening, everyone. Welcome another edition K&K Sports Show, April 16th, 2025. NBA playoffs, play-in games have started. NHL playoffs right around the corner, start Saturday. NFL draft a week away. Lots to talk about, guys. I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to go to my guy on my right, Paul Rosen. How are we doing tonight, Paul?
Good. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Graham. Hi, everybody. Looking forward to a fun show tonight. Like you just said, NHL starting, Knicks Pistons. What a matchup. First round. Carson shaking his head, yes, and up and down. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, a week from tomorrow, the draft. So exciting times in sports.
I'm gonna go to the guy to Paul's right. Maybe he's above Paul, below Paul. He's behind stage. He's everywhere. Graham, how we doing? Graham, our producer.
Doing good. Ready for another great show.
Absolutely. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Valenti will be last, I should say. He's coming on in a minute. But last right now, not certainly not least on our panel, below me, Mr. Carson Shears here. How we doing, Carson?
What's going on, guys? How we doing? Graham behind the stage, always doing great work. Yeah, Pistons versus Knicks, man. Looking forward to it, and I'm letting you guys know, man. I'm not taking it easy on you guys tonight. We've been brothers forever, but it's war, man. Let's go.
I wouldn't expect anything less, and
Yeah.
that's what we want when we're going to get into Carson's corner in a few minutes, and it's going to be all about the NBA, so we're going to have some fun there. And we got some fun ones for you all. Our good friend Michael Ronquillo, everybody's friend, checking in,
Hey,
saying
Michael.
hello, Kenny, Carson, and Paul, and hello, Graham. Kurt will be with us soon, Michael, and I think we're going to, somebody will be doing Let's Talk Broncos tonight. It might not be Kurt. We'll see. Interesting, Graham. Just give it a couple seconds. Give it a couple seconds, Graham. If not, log back in, and it may work that way. So, not sure why that's not working. But Michael's saying hello. But ready to get the ball started. So, got some quick hitters. We got NHL playoffs. Be honest with everybody, we're not the biggest hockey sports guys out of the four of us. Graham's the big hockey guy, and I want to plug something from Graham that I've been meaning to do each week, and I've been forgetting. So I apologize to Graham. Graham is, for those who don't know, he's site expert over at Mile High Sticking. Since the beginning of the Avalanche's playoff Stanley Cup run, he writes for Mile High Sticking. He does some editing, and Graham article on Landeskog, the guy who's been out for 3 years, was the highest. When you type in that name, it was the highest ranked article on that gentleman. So on Google. So congratulations, Graham. Graham, if you want to put that in your site on the chat, appreciate it. So everybody can give it a like and follow. And there's our good friend Keith Brugman, Rocky Mountain Sports
Hey,
Network.
Keith.
Hey, Keith.
Denver Bronco Roundup, the founder over there. I'm a co-host over there. Hey, it's the K&K Sports Show. Wednesday is complete. Draft show next week, guys. We're going to do 3 days of draft day coverage over on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network and share it on K&K. Pick is in draft show. A lot of work, a lot of fun, special guests, giveaways. Come check us out. Come say hello. We're going to be there and doing a great job on the 3 days with my friends and co-hosts on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Ernie May is giving us a hello. Go Broncos country. Go Bo Nix. Hello, Kenny K. And hello to Paul and Carson and Graham backstage as well, Ernie.
Thanks,
Graham's a
Ernie.
big Bronco fan. Ernie's out there in California, so thanks for tuning in, Ernie. Broncos show, 7 p.m. your time, my friend. Tonight it's all sports, K&K. But I got some NHL quick hitters for you guys. First one I heard on the radio. It's been 30 years since a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup, which is crazy when you think about it, because Canadians, back in the day, they won 4 in a row. Graham sent me something earlier. Toronto's been good in the past. Teams have been really good in the past, yet 30 years. 5 of them are going to be in the playoffs this year, including Winnipeg, Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. 2 of them have the overall 1 seed. That's Winnipeg with 55-22, and Toronto in the East, 51-26, and then Edmonton's a 3 seed, and then 2 wild card teams, Montreal, Ottawa. Carson, could this be the year Canada gets back the cup?
Yeah, I think it definitely could be, but I think the streak is still going to stay 30 plus years. I think you got teams like Carolina, Florida, even the Dallas Stars are approaching. So again, it comes down to togetherness and camaraderie in the playoffs, and especially with Canada, where they have consistently choked in the cup in recent years. I just think the NHL has come to America now in terms of dominance in the playoffs. I think it's going to stay that way.
Nice. Paul, your thoughts?
I think they are going to win the cup. I have a team that I believe will finally win the cup after 30 years. That first series, Florida and Tampa Bay. I saw Tampa Bay for many years when I was in Florida. They are unbelievable, but Florida's defending Stanley Cup champion, and so they may not even get out of the first round to defend their title. But I believe a team in Canada will win the cup.
And Mr. Valenti's joined us. What's up, Kurt?
Hey,
How are you,
Welcome.
boys? How are
Welcome.
you?
all right.
Welcome to the show. The question is, did you get the question?
Will a Canadian team win the cup?
Yeah.
No. I'm going to say no. I agree with Carson. Too many teams. And you guys didn't mention Colorado. I think Colorado's going to make a big run. I just think it's stacked against it. Can they win it? Yeah, but I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say they can. I like Edmonton. I like Toronto's chances. Winnipeg's an overall 1 seed as well, so you never know what they can do. But I'm going to say they got a good chance. Good friend Jody Moncrief saying, evening, gents. Paul, are you getting excited about CJ Carr?
Yes, I am. I know there was a big competition among the 3 ND quarterbacks in the spring practice game. I hope they select him. I think they finally have to go with that homegrown quarterback, and he's the young gun. And let's do it finally. Let's bring in that young guy.
Yep. Well, Kurt, why don't you give us an intro statement? Since you're a little late, it said it was a lot of sports coming up, playoffs time.
My intro is we are what now? 1 week and 1 day away from our NFL draft. Little rumor today. I don't know how Graham feels, but our good boy Cecil Lammy is saying that Ashton Genty has been talking to the Broncos, and Cecil Lammy, our good friend, said, "Give it all up. Give up next year's one. Go get him." I'm all in for that, so that's exciting. But I'm locked in at 6:00 on Saturday, boys. Since Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year, when Halliburton and the fake All-Star and that fake team beat us with all injuries, we've had to wait 1 year. We've made massive upgrades. We have the most pressure on us in the NBA with our head coach. And I'm just going to say this, Mr. Kirkpatrick, we'll get into it later. I'm not worried. I'm not worried now. I'm not going to be worried next. I'm not worried at all because we're going to be in a long run and I'm ready to go. So, and we will be there 6:00, Game 1, baby, at that Garden.
Yeah.
Carson may have something to say about
Let's
that,
go.
but we'll
We're
get
gonna
into that in a little bit.
Minutes. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a couple minutes. All right, so I got some matchups. We're just going to say, who's going to win. I got notable matchups. We're not going to do them all. Stars versus Avalanche, Carson. You got the Central 2 and the Stars versus the 3. So the 2 versus the 3 seed.
Wow. I'll go with Graham's Avalanche. I still think the Stars are the better overall team and had a better season this year, but I think experience with McKinnon, I think, is going to come up clutch. So I'll say the Avalanche.
Kurt.
In this whole NBA and NBA and NHL playoffs, I'm going to be big on disrespect. There's a lot of teams. The Avalanche can't do this. The Avalanche are done, yada, yada. You still got the best player in the sport. Just like Carson said, experience. Playoffs is all about experience. I'm taking the Avalanche.
Paul.
I'm going to sweep the board. I'm going to go with the Avalanche as well.
Yeah, I can't go against the Avalanche in the first round and upset Graham, upset my good friends over there in Colorado. So I got to sweep the board and go Avalanche round one. Uh, we'll go to Kurt first on this one. LA Kings back in the playoffs again this year. They're the Pacific 2 versus the Pacific 3, last year's Stanley Cup runner-up, Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, you got to give me Edmonton Oilers. I mean, again, experience, better, one of the best players in the sport. So I'm going to take Edmonton.
I'm with you, Kurt. I'm going Edmonton. And Carson, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Edmonton as well.
Yeah, I think Connor McDavid's the best player in this series, and big players show up in big games. So give me him in the first round for sure. A couple more first round matchups. This one's really intriguing to me. State of Florida.
Kenny, can I pick that?
I forgot about you. Yep, forgot about you.
I'm unforgettable, Kenny. I'm going to be the outlier, guys. I'm going to pick the Kings. I think they deserve to be ranked or finish second in the division, and I think they're going to beat Edmonton.
And so we're going to move on. I got the state of Florida. I'll go right back to you, Paul, so I don't forget you this time. Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Florida Panthers. Talk about a great first-round matchup here.
Yeah,
the Lightning are the 2 in the Atlantic, and the Florida Panthers the 3.
Yeah, this might be the best matchup of the whole Stanley Cup playoffs, I swear. I have so much respect for Tampa Bay. As I said, I saw them for so many years down there. They're unbelievable. But Florida is the Stanley Cup champions. Very hard to repeat. And as much as I love Tampa Bay, I love the way Florida plays. They're grinders. They have the experience. So I'm going to go in a hard-fought series. I'm going to pick Florida.
Awesome. Carson, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I got to go with the defending champs. So like Paul said, both of these teams could legitimately represent their conference in the Cup this year. 2-3 matchup that's really tough. But yeah, great for the state of Florida. But I'll go with the Panthers.
Kurt.
Yep, I'm going to go Panthers also. Tough, like you said though, tough to repeat, right? Tough, but I'm going to take Florida.
And there's Graham saying, "Hey, everyone, glad to see you all." Graham, glad you got the chat up. Graham, we're all having a little difficulties here. It's normal. It's normal on on here. So all good. We need a blooper reel. That'll be fun. I'm going Panthers too. The goalie, I'd asked Graham the name earlier because I forgot his name. Bobrovsky is going to be the difference in this matchup. The guy was unbelievable last year in the playoffs and the Stanley Cup Finals. So give me Bobrovsky coming through big in this one again. And then the final 2 matchups I got. My neck of the woods, Capitals versus Canadiens. Ovechkin, Metro, number 1 seed against the wild card 2 team in the Canadiens. I got to go Capitals here. My neck of the woods. If I went against them, they would be hanging me from outside my steps over here in DC area. So Caps might even sweep this series. Good story, Canadians back in the playoffs, but Caps too strong. Carson.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Capitals and Ovechkin in this one. I think they move on.
And Kurt.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, great story with them breaking the record and all that. And I think I don't think they win it all, but I will. They're going to get by this round.
And Paul, you sweeping?
Yeah, definitely sweeping with the big A and the Capitals.
Graham saying Bobrovsky, future Hall of Famer. Couple hellos. Eddie Murphy. Carson, he's with you.
Hey, Eddie.
Hello, gentlemen. LFG Pistons. I can't say the with that, but you all know where he's going.
Let's go, Eddie.
we allow it. We'll allow it because Carson's a Piston fan. But if he was, we wouldn't allow that comment on here.
I'm actually shocked that Eddie's watching the show. He should be scouting for the draft because, or no, I'm sorry, Eddie's getting ready for the lottery. So Eddie's getting ready for the
lottery. And David Burns, our good friend, watching from Cedar Hill, Texas.
Hey, David.
Hey.
And Graham sent me a clip when Ovechkin, when he was young, said he didn't believe the goal record was in reach. So good for Ovechkin for getting it. And David watching the Miami Heat Bulls game. So one more. It's for the New Jersey guys. All our friends out there in New Jersey, and Paul and Kurt, for you. The Carolina Hurricanes, the 2 seed in the playoffs every year, solid team. And the New Jersey Devils get in. Kurt, your brother-in-law's a big Devil fan, the 3
Yeah.
seed. Be careful who you... I'm going to go to you first. Be careful who you pick here.
I'm going to go with the upset. I think, again, the Devils, I know you can't go with the past, but listen, they have a lot of, they've had a lot of like nice playoff runs. I can see, Jersey getting behind them. I'm going to go for Paul. I'm going to take the Devils.
And Paul, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I have to bite my tongue as a Rangers fan, but listen, I'm in Jersey now. Why not? Let's go Jersey. Let's go Devils. And I'm not going to paint my face like Putty did on Seinfeld, but hey, let's go Devils.
Carson, you don't have any New Jersey ties here, so who are you taking here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Hurricanes. I'm rooting for the Devils. They got Jack Hughes, local Michigan product, but I think the better overall team is the Hurricanes in this one.
I think this could be the scary first-round upset, but the Devils get a heartbreaking loss in the first-round exit. Hurricanes experience in the playoffs late. The game 6 and 7 is going to be the difference. Graham put up Mile High Sticking. Please give that a like. Go check that out. Graham does amazing work over there. Eddie Murphy's working. He says, get ready for a first round exit, Kurt. And Stephanie Padilla chiming in saying, my Bulls are going to win, David. She's watching from Chicago, Illinois, Kurt.
Nice.
In panel. Thanks, Stephanie, for hanging out with us. All right, guys, quick Stanley Cup prediction. I'll give you mine. Capitals versus Oilers. I think Ovechkin gets it this year. I think it's a special year for him. The Capitals are going to be your Stanley Cup champions in 2025. Paul.
I'll quickly say this. I think Canada will win their first cup. I'm going to go with the Winnipeg Jets. They have the best defense, best goals against scoring. So I'm going to pick them over. I'll have Florida go all the way to the finals in the Stanley Cup finals. But
repeat.
No. But it'll be Winnipeg.
Oh, Winnipeg winning it. Okay.
Yeah.
Carson, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I like Paul's pick in the West. I'm going to go with the Jets as well, and then I'm going to go with the Hurricanes in the East, and then Hurricanes get it done.
Yeah, let's be clear for those just coming in. They were talking about the Winnipeg Jets, not the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt.
You know what? Not because a lot of my guys are on the show, but I'm just, again, the motto this year for me with the postseason is experience and disrespect. And a lot of people are counting out the Avalanche, and so I'm taking the Avalanche on that side. I think Florida goes back, and you know what? Nathan McKinnon, man, it's hard to win in Colorado. They go on a little run. Again, been there, done that. I'm taking Colorado, guys, not just because of my friends on this show, but I'm taking Colorado over Florida. I think they're disrespected. I think people aren't, talking about them. And listen, I think they're a championship team. They got a little momentum coming back. I'm taking Colorado.
Graham alluded. Gabriel Landeskog is going to be electric. Eddie saying Rangers. Oh wait, another major disappointment. And Graham referring
to another MSG disappointment.
Okay, yeah. And Graham also up in the Winnipeg area. They call it Winterpeg, my neck of the woods.
Oh.
So there was a little hockey for everybody. Little taste. Flavor of the week, I guess you would call it. We don't do much hockey on here, but I thought it was appropriate time to do a little. That being said, we're going to switch it up to another sport that's getting ready to start their playoffs. They started their play-in, but before we get to Carson's Corner, we do it for the Super Bowl. We thought it'd be appropriate to do it tonight, being Carson the Piston fan and in Michigan area, and us in New York area, a little Detroit versus New York comparisons in the food, entertainment, and etc. from Mr. Paul Rosen.
Thanks, Kenny. So, as Kenny said, we always do those comparisons between the Super Bowl teams, cities, and we'd like to have some fun with this. Not just sports, but entertainment. and food. So we're going to do, as Kurt said, the first game begins on Saturday night, and it's the Big Apple versus Motor City, Motown. So first category, greatest player, Patrick Ewing for the Knicks and Isaiah Thomas for the Pistons. Kurt, who would you say?
I can't be a hypocrite on this show. It's about championships. Patrick never won one. Isaiah got two, right? Isaiah got two, right? They won back to back.
Yeah,
Back-to-back.
yeah.
And you know what? I think he changed the game. I think he changed the game, like in the point guard position. I'm going to take Isaiah.
I'm going to agree with you, Kurt. As much as I love Patrick, and I would tend to agree with you. That's not counting his coaching ability with the Knicks.
Right.
Kenny?
Yeah, I got to sweep it with you guys. Isaiah, won the championships. They had a good surrounding cast around him, but not a great surrounding cast. So give me Isaiah.
And Carson?
No question. Isaiah Thomas, number 11, Zeke.
I will say this. There were two other players I listed that I easily could have put up there. Walt Frazier and Willis Reed for the Knicks, and Ben Wallace and an old-timer, Bob Lanier, who used to play center for the Pistons and was one of the all-time greats. So,
Nice.
Okay, championship teams. Best championship team, the 69-70 New York Knicks, and as Kurt alluded to, the 89-90 back-to-back championship teams of the Pistons. So Carson, who had the better teams?
Yeah, I'll play the homer and say the Pistons, only because of, Isaiah Thomas. You got Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman. Those guys were just absolutely ruthless. I mean, this is, when they were going against Jordan, and Jordan couldn't get past the Pistons. And Michael Jordan, we can all agree, is the greatest player ever. So I think in their prime, the bad boys were just unstoppable, and nobody wanted to touch those guys. So I'm going to say the Pistons.
Nice. Kenny?
I got there will be some New York votes in here, but I'm going Bad Boys. That was a fun team to watch, and I enjoyed when the Knicks weren't there. I enjoyed watching that team beat up Jordan and Pippen and that Bulls team. Steve Kerr used to get beat up, Paxton, all of them. They didn't. The Bad Boys, Bill Laimbeer, and all the guys Carson alluded to. Yes, give me the Pistons all day, every day.
Kurt?
I'm going to go different on this one. And it's kind of like funny because that Piston, like I would, like that's the team I want. I would still like a team like that. Just don't care, foul hard, and stuff like that. But when you look at that Knick team, right? I think that Knick team, you're talking about Frazier and Reed and Hall of Famer, right? DeBusschere, Bradley. I mean, Earl Monroe. I mean, you're talking about like legends. Just the way they move that ball. Again, nothing against that Piston team. I mean, that's the model of the team I want, that toughness. But I just think pure better basketball players from that 69-70 Knick team.
Yeah, and again, as Kurt just alluded to, Carson, nothing against that Piston team, but I'm going to take that Knick team. There was something special about that Knick team that caught the New York. It was just amazing to watch that team. And I know a lot of you guys weren't even born yet, but just watching that team was just it was like a symphony, the way they played basketball. All right, best coach, Red Holtzman for the Knicks, Chuck Daly for the Pistons. Carson?
Again, I got to go Chuck Daly. I mean, he was a huge part in that bad boy run with 89-90. I think without Daly, those championships don't exist. So that was the guy that still believed in the Pistons when they were like the bottom feeders in the NBA throughout the 80s. So I think I'm going to say Daly.
Okay. Kurt?
I don't want to do this, but I'm going to say I'm going to give it a tie. I really am. I mean,
Nice.
You're talking about, just like Carson said with Chuck Daly, where he brought that team and he molded a lot of the Laimbeer and Isaiah, like tough to do, right? Tough to mold all that, kind of what Phil did with Rodman and that group, right? With all those personalities. But then look at Holzman too. Like, look how he had that basketball playing. He had, like I said, Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer, and the way he had that ball movement and stuff like that. And he did it in New York. So I'm going to say Ty, two great legendary coaches.
Kenny.
Take the easy way out. I saw
Yes,
a
it
Daly
is.
coach and Holzman. I didn't. So I'm going to go Daly. And like Kurt said, like preaching that style of basketball. That's the basketball I like, the bad boys, fouling hard. You ain't going to get no easy baskets. But I got to break the show for a second because our good friend Patrick Wiltsey, when he says hello, we got to
Hey,
say hello.
Patrick.
He's saying aloha, boys. Sorry for starting late. There it is, Lion Coffee. For those who don't know, check out Lion Coffee out there in Hawaii. Been around since they're celebrating 160 years of being in business, and been around since 1864, everybody. So
That's awesome.
And there's Graham putting in the link. So check them out. Great stuff. You will not be disappointed with any of the coffee or teas that they put out there in for Lion Coffee. Thank you, Patrick, as always.
I'm going to say,
break that news.
I'm going to say Red Holtzman. The Knicks were a horrible team. They were always the bottom feeders of the NBA. And then he came in, they brought him in as coach, and he turned that franchise around. So I'm going to say Red Holtzman. But again, nothing against Chuck Daly. All right, let's go to food. We don't have Dave Portnoy, One Bite Dave, but let's talk about pizza. New York pizza versus Detroit style pizza. Kurt, what are you having?
I gotta go New York. I'm not a I'm not, what is that, like deep dish? Is that what it kind of is? Or I'm just, again, I'm the worst person. I'm the pickiest eater probably in New Jersey. So just give me a plain just pizza with cheese, so just thin. So I'm gonna say New York.
Kenny?
I think when we get Carson to New York, we'll have to have the real question will be asked: Carson, New York or Detroit pizza? But I got to go New York. The thin triangle slice, New York style, bigger slice. Absolutely, all day, New York, every day.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Carson. I'm going to go New York, but go ahead, Carson.
Yeah, no, I think it depends on the kind of pizza you like. Some people like the thin crust style, like New York style, or you like the deep dish, where you get more of a filling with your slice with Detroit. But I have had New York pizza when I was really little, and it was pretty good. So I'll go with New York. I'll give my first New York answer.
Nice. Okay. All right, I have a fun next one. Best celebrity fan, but I'm going to do it in a tag team. Spike Lee and Tracy Morgan, or Kid Rock and Eminem. Carson?
Kid Rock and Eminem.
Oh, nice. Kenny?
Gotta go Kid Rock and Eminem. I like their music. Spike Lee, they had some decent movies, and Tracy Morgan's Saturday Night Live was really funny guy. But give me Kid Rock and Eminem. Love their music.
All right. Kurt?
Easy. I'm taking Kid Rock and Eminem. I can't say his name. Eminem. But listen, Spike Lee's a fraud. He was in Brooklyn 3 years ago. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. He's not Tracy Morgan. I like him, like John McEnroe. Like, that's like celebrity row. This guy's a fraud. He was on the St. John's band. Where was he with St. John's? All of a sudden, he's a St. John. He's a fraud.
Right.
He's a fraud.
All right.
Eddie wants to know before or after the vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. God. Eddie always having a good word. All right. Greatest old-time baseball player, Babe Ruth or Ty Cobb? Kenny?
Gotta go Babe Ruth. But Ty Cobb would probably win any other best baseball player. Yeah. But I'm gonna go Babe Ruth.
Carson?
Yeah, I gotta go to Babe. I love Ty Cobb, but Babe Ruth is top 2, top 3 ever. So I'm gonna go the Babe.
Kurt?
Yeah, just like I said last week, we were talking about, it's just like he's like the face of, when you talk about baseball, the first name you probably come up is Babe Ruth. So I'm going to say Babe Ruth. But again, no disrespect to Ty Cobb. It's just, I think Babe Ruth, it's, he's not going to, you're going to pick Babe over everybody.
All right, I'm going to sweep. But I'm going to also give you a contemporary baseball player, Aaron Judge and Miguel Cabrera. Carson,
It's got to be Miggy.
Kurt.
I mean, don't even be. You're asking me that?
All right, Kenny, we know the answer.
You know the answer to that.
I'll give it a double Cabrera for Kurt and for myself. So
All right, and I'm going to sweep the board with Miggy, first ballot Hall of Famer. All right, famous song and singer, New York, New York, Frank Sinatra, or I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Then there were a million songs I could pick from Detroit with Marvin Gaye. Kenny?
got to go New York, New York. When they play it at Yankee Stadium after a win, gives you goosebumps. So give me old Blue Eyes, Frankie Sinatra.
Kurt?
Yeah, it's same thing. I think it's maybe the most iconic song with the state, right? Like I'll take Sinatra, New York, New York also.
I'm going to go with I Heard It Through the Grapevine. I love Motown and Marvin Gaye, and I got to go as much as, again, no offense to Francis Albert, but I'm going to go with Motown. Carson?
Carson first. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll go New York, New York on this one.
Real quick, Kurt, hello from an old friend, Kurt.
Yeah,
Jerry Murr saying
yep.
hello. He's been around for a long time, Jerry, with us, hanging out in the chat from our early days. Let's go Broncos. Sorry, just scrolling through and saw you all were live. Jerry, hope all's going well and good to see you, my friend. And,
Go Broncos, Jerry. Let's
go
go.
Broncos.
All right. I did some research, Carson. Best team song for the Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go. And I found this, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. We Hustle Different. Is that a song that the Pistons
it rings
use?
a bell. Yeah.
Okay. So, Kenny.
Go New York, go New York, go. That stays in your head when you hear it. So it's in my head now for a few days, Paul. So thank you. And so that's an easy one.
All right, Kurt.
Yeah, it's go New York, go New York, go. And I know Kenny mentioned my brother-in-law Paul, who absolutely despises that song, but I love it. 20 years from now, come out with another rendition, man. Let's go, keep doing it.
That's funny, Carson.
Yeah, I'll go to go New York, go New York, go.
All right, and I'll sweep it. And the last category of movies, for New York, The Godfather 1 and 2 and Goodfellas, and in Detroit, 8 Mile and RoboCop. Carson?
That's wow, it's tough. I'm gonna go with 8 Mile though.
Nice. Kurt?
I'm gonna go with 8 Mile too.
Kenny?
Not me. I love those gangster movies and The Godfather, the original, and Goodfellas. Very underrated gangster movies. So got to give me that duo.
Yeah, I'm going with The Godfather and one of my top 3 movies of all time, Goodfellas. So that's my comparison, New York versus Detroit. Let's have a great series.
Nice, Paul.
Thank you.
Jerry was saying, stick with Frank, but let's change it up. Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. They finally changed it to only play New York, New York when the Yankees win. They used to play this. They used to play it in losses. They used to, because I used to always go to a game with my dad, Kurt. We went to a couple games. They lost every damn game that we went to. They were bad in those 80s and early 90s before their World Series run. They were bad teams, but they used to play that song after a loss. And Graham's saying, sounds like Carson needs to move to New York with all the New York stuff you like there, Carson. All right, there was Paul's comparisons. Great job, Paul. Little
thank you.
Appetizer to Carson's corner with the NBA playoffs. So that was a little fun. We won't get ever get a Super Bowl Detroit, New York unless the Jets go there. So, so it was nice to have that comparison. So being our sports teams are from Detroit and New York. So great job, Paul. We'll pass it off to Carson for Carson's corner, a little NBA playoff discussion.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. Yeah, we'll start off nice and easy, and then we'll get into the drama and the meat and potatoes of it with the Knicks and Pistons. So, NBA playoffs are starting, guys. Give me a sleeper team in both conferences, Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, that you could see represent and have a chance of winning it all. So, in the East, you have the Pacers, the Bucks, the Pistons, the Magic. And then we'll see what happens with that 8 seed. The Hawks did lose last night. It could be the Bulls or the Heat, but we'll just say one of those 3 teams. So 4 seed or lower in the East that you think could make a run and get to the finals. Kurt.
I mean, I would say Milwaukee if Dame was playing. You know what? I'm still going to say I really want to say the Miami Heat because I am petrified. The one team I do not want to play is the Miami Heat. They're just a playoff tested team, but I'll say Milwaukee, especially if Dame comes back.
Nice. Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Bucks also. Been there, done that, a few years ago, but hey, Greek freak and hey, like Kurt was saying, experience. So,
For
Bucks.
sure. Kenny.
Listen, I'm a Knicks fan. I got some concerns with this Knicks team. Why not say the Pistons? If they get by the Knicks, why can't they make a run?
Nice.
So give me the Pistons as a sleeper team.
Love it. All right, so we're going to ask you guys the same question in the West. In my opinion, I think the West is anybody's game. I mean, you got the Thunder, Rockets, Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, Timberwolves, Warriors looked great last night. But we'll stick with this one. I'll go 5, 6, 7, or 8 because I think the top 4 could justify making a run. So you got the Clippers as the 5 seed, the Timberwolves as the 6, the Warriors as the 7. And again, it's still going on right now. It could be the Grizzlies, it could be the Kings or the Mavericks. So same question, sleeper team in the Western Conference that you think could make a run. Clippers, Timberwolves, Warriors, or Grizzlies. Kurt.
I was 100% going to say the Nuggets, but since you're going to say it's 5 through 8,
Yeah.
I'm going to take Golden State just because I love the matchup. Again, that experience against Houston, I don't like it. I think too young. And now they go on. And again, I'll say this. I'm not afraid of the Lakers. I'm not afraid of OKC. I'm going to say Golden State.
Nice. Paul.
Yeah, I'm not looking over Kurt's shoulder during the test, but I'm going to say the Warriors also. I mean, you talk about experience. They have it, and they obviously have been there many times. So at least for the first round, I think they're going to get through for the first round at least and could make a run.
Nice. Kenny.
A couple quick comments. Jerry saying Nuggets are coming around finally. I was going to be with Kurt on the Nuggets, but maybe I'll go the other way around. By the way, the Warriors are favored against the Rockets for the series price. So that's a good pick, Kurt. I'm going to go Clippers because if they get by the Nuggets and the Nuggets struggle a little bit with the firing of Malone in the playoffs, the Clippers still have Kawhi. They got James Harden. They got a veteran team that could make some noise and sneak up on some teams out there. Michael was alluding the Heat are winning big, Kurt, right now against the Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
Eddie saying Bronny James doesn't scare you, Kurt, LOL.
No.
And Jerry was saying, but with Jamal probably fatter than me.
That's great. Yeah, that's why I said 5 seed or lower because I feel like the Nuggets, they're probably the most dangerous 4 seed in the NBA right now. So that would have been a popular pick. All right, guys. So I want you guys to give me your bold prediction or just regular prediction for your Eastern Conference Finals champion, your Western Conference Finals champ, and who you think is going to take home the Larry O'Brien this year. Kurt.
Listen, disrespect, teams that people don't talk about, and experience. In the West, been there, done that, Denver. Hey, there was an issue with Malone. I love the fact that they said, I'm not just throwing away another season. It's not going to work. It wasn't going to work. Let's switch something up. Hey, let's try it. You still got Joker, right? He's still Joker. Best player in the NBA. Best player in the West. If you get Murray hot, Porter Jr. could do a couple things. it's tough to win in that building, man. It's tough to win in that building. You know, as much as I like Hartenstein, if you get by LA, you're going to say Isaiah Hartenstein's going to stop Jokic? No. So I'm taking Denver. And in the East, I'm doing it the same way, right? All this year when those two moves were made, the Knicks are the team, the Knicks are the team. And you know what? The Knicks still won over 50 games. You know, did they have go up and down? Guys, they were healthy for like 6 games with everybody. 6. No Mitchell Robinson, no Karl Anthony Towns. We're healthy. We are fully healthy. Hold our breath with Mitchell Robinson. But guys, this guy's a difference maker. And this is a different animal now. You know, all I kept hearing about, Paul, and disagree with Paul, agree with me or correct me if I'm wrong, but for the past couple of years is, but all the Knicks do is the Knicks try hard in the regular season. They try hard. You shouldn't try hard. You shouldn't. Now it's, you give up a little in the regular season. Oh, they're no good. They're going to turn this thing up. Bridges is going to be the wing defender. OG's going to be the wing defender. Give me my New York Knicks. Give them to me. Let's go. You know, I might sound crazy, but am I petrified of Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford? I mean, are you joking? Like, this is where, like, I wish Ryan Scoops was on this show. Oh, what an all-time team. That team wouldn't get out of the first round in the 90s. It's watered down. The NBA is very watered down. There's not good teams. So give me my Knicks. And then you know what? Hey, this is do or die for Thibodeau. This is our shot. Let's roll with it. Disrespect Knicks in the East. Disrespect Nuggets in the West. Give me my New York Knicks, boys. We're going to a parade. Let's go.
And your winner, Kurt?
Knicks.
Nice. We'll see about that. Kenny.
Real quick, Eddie, about the O'Brien Trophy, American Dream. It's like a mega mall, Carson, in New Jersey. And Sean Marash, he's a WFAN, he's a sports radio host over here. He lost a bet, so he has to dress up like the Larry O'Brien Trophy, and he's going to be at the American Dream on Thursday dressed up.
By the way,
like
did you guys see Tom Brady just opened up there's a card store now in that mall where I think it's like backed and owned by Tom Brady, or he's part of it. He was actually there last week.
It's a mega facility, Carts, and whenever you come up to New Jersey, we'll have to take you there.
Water park, they got everything in it. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
The short is a huge arcade there for your other channel, Carson Claus. Yeah. Roy saying hello, guys. What's up, Roy?
Hey, Roy.
To answer your question, Carson, my predictions are always wrong, so I'm solely basing my prediction, hoping I'm wrong on both ends, and I'm going to say Celtics in the East. Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis is a nice big 3. I think they're better than Cleveland when it all comes down push to shove. And in the West, I'm going the Lakers. I think Luka Doncic is the difference. Again, I'm hoping I'm wrong with these predictions because I want, like Kurt said, Knicks Nuggets. Give me Knicks Nuggets, and I do think the Nuggets can make some noise in these playoffs, and so I think the Knicks could too, with some big home court advantage with the Garden over there in the playoff atmosphere. So let's hope I'm wrong. I want to see Knicks Nuggets, but for my realistic predictions, I'm gonna go Celtics over Lakers and stay 2 for the overall championships. If the Lakers were to win, they'd be tied. The Celtics get the championship back-to-back and go 2 up on the Lakers.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to go pretty chalky. I think Celtics, still clearly the best team in the East. I think Tatum and Brown are going to be just fine. They're going to get back to the finals. And then I'll go with the chalk as well with SGA and the MVP winner in the Thunder and Oklahoma City Thunder. And I got the Thunder winning it all. All right, folks. Main event, time of the show where I beat up on my 3 good friends, Paul, Kenny, and Mr. Kirkpatrick. Boys.
Wait, I didn't get my prediction in.
Sorry,
Carson.
Paul, go for it.
We're forgetting Paul
right.
tonight.
I don't know, man. I'm going to get paranoid here. Well, more paranoid than I usually am. Anyway, let me just say this before Carson gets it off his chest. This series is going to be tough, but you know what? I think the Knicks need this series to be tough. If they somehow sweep I don't think that's going to be good. I know they won't sweep. It's going to be a damn tough series, and I want it to be, because the Knicks can't walk into the playoffs thinking this is going to be an easy series. Oh, the Pistons, they haven't been good for so long. So I hope the Pistons, Carson, bring everything they have in this series. I hope it goes long, 6-7 games. I'm predicting 6 games, but I want you guys to come at the Knicks as hard as you can and give us everything you can and make it a long series, because if not, I think the Knicks are going to be almost too soft going into the next series against the Celtics or anybody else, or Miami. So bring it hard, play hard. But that being said, I also think the Knicks are going to get through, get into the Eastern Conference Finals against Cleveland. They're going to beat Cleveland. I think the Thunder is going to go in. As much as I like the Nuggets, I think they're going to bounce back as well because of Joker. But I think the Thunder, it's their year, and I think the Thunder is going to win the championship.
Nice. Sounds like a plan. All right, guys. So yeah, we got Knicks versus Pistons. We got our wish. It's going to make some good content for the next week or so. And yeah, we're fired up, guys. So I'll give you guys a little bit of back history. Knicks 70-73. They were the 2 titles that they won with the New York Knicks. I'm not going to lie, one of the best fan bases in all of sports. You see what Madison Square Garden is like. Probably the best atmosphere in playoff sports when the Knicks are in the playoffs. Then you got the Detroit Pistons, the bad boy era, 89-90, back-to-back champs. And then you got the going-to-work Pistons in 2004 that upset the Lakers and Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Boys, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you cannot lose to the Detroit Pistons. This team was 14 wins last year. They are playing with house money, and there's one man that you should all be afraid of, and his name is Cade Cunningham. This brother is going to put on a showcase the entire playoffs this year. 26.6 rebounds, 9 assists. In the regular season, this kid has been kind of overlooked because he's dealt with injuries in the past, but the dude arguably is playing like a first-team All-NBA player this year. The Pistons have had the Knicks numbered in the regular season. Again, injury concerns. We can all agree the regular season is different than the postseason. But let's go, guys. Cade Cunningham is a brother you do not want to mess with. So listen, I want you guys to give me your honest predictions. How many games, who wins this series, and what's going to happen. I'm going to go first. Listen, Pistons are playing with house money. You got nothing to lose. And like I said, you guys said it before, Tom Thibodeau's job is on the line. You got all-stars all around, great players, Brunson, Cat, Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart. And this is a team that you guys went all in for, and we've been hearing it time and time again in national media. When the hell are the Knicks going to be relevant and get back to the NBA Finals? It's been since the 70s since you guys have done anything. So listen, it's time to shine. And if you guys lose to the team that had the worst record in basketball last year, Thibodeau's gone, and you guys got to really seriously start to be concerned about the direction of your future. So, boys, give it to me. Pistons versus Knicks should be a hell of a series. Kenny, how many games? Who wins? And who's going to win?
I got to give the Knicks game 1. Kurt and Jen are going there. I would love to see them win game 1 for them going to the playoff game at the Garden, experiencing that atmosphere. Kurt, hold your ears. We're going to lose game 2, so it's going to be a split in the first 2. But you know what? We're going to get back on track in Detroit. Tough place to play. I know they're holding out on Knick fans going there, Carson. They're selling tickets just to Detroit fans. So I'm going to say it's going to be hard fought in Detroit. We're going to come back. We're going to take this in 6, Carson, but none of the games are going to be blowouts. I will tell you that much. The Pistons are going to be what Paul said, a hard fought, and might be what the Knicks need. And then real quick, Carson, I'm going to get to a couple comments on this. Michael Ronquillo is saying Detroit Pistons have nothing to lose against the Knicks. Jerry earlier saying he wants the Lakers out. And Roy saying no way on the Knicks, Kurt. And a couple hellos. Trevor saying, what's up, boys? Hope all is well with you all. Stephanie got a big one here for you, Carson. Detroit disappears in big games, real big games. Remember, she's a Bolts fan. As well, we all witness, so does the Cavaliers. Our biggest threat is the Boston Celtics. If we get by them, new heights will be achieved. The only downfall is that we lost one of our best coaches to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's what's going to make that matchup really tough, even though I believe the Knicks can win it in the East. Thanks, Stephanie, for that.
Thanks, Stephanie, for your thought.
Keats with you, Pistons. He's got the Pistons. I don't know how many games you're going, but he's going Pistons in 6.
Nice, Keith.
And Eddie wants to know if you got tickets, Carson.
There's a chance I might be going to Game 4 Sunday at 1 o'clock. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll see.
Nice. All right, Carson, I'm caught up on the comments. Thank you, chat.
Nice. So get back to your thought, Kenny. You said how many games?
I'm going to go 6 for the Knicks. No blowouts. Every game is going to come down to the fourth quarter. 4 minutes left. We're going to be biting our nails, and it's going to be dogfight.
Nice. Paul?
I'm also going to go Knicks in 6. I don't want to sound like a homer, but I think there will be almost every game will be a dogfight, though I do think there might be a blowout on either side, one way or the other. One of the games on each team will win in a blowout, but I think overall Knicks in 6 games.
Nice. Kurt?
First thing is, I saw this yesterday, and I was like quizzing Jen when we were out to dinner. The highest ticket for first, there's 8 games, right? There's going to be 8 first round games, Saturday, Sunday. The lowest ticket for the highest game is the Knicks at $329, the cheapest to get in. Shame on the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is why like people go and say, you don't want to play for it. You're the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're the 1 seed. Do you know how much it is to get in? You know how much you can get into game 1 for the ticket? Paul, give me a number. How much you can get into that game?
$100.
Carson, give me a number.
For the Cavs?
For the Cavs, game 1. Cheapest ticket.
$85.
Kenny.
I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go $150.
$48. Is that a disgrace?
Wow.
Is that a disgrace? They can't even sell out. I mean, you're a 1 seed, and then they wonder why people want to leave.
Crazy.
That's disgraceful. But getting back, Paul, I think you nailed it. I think the Knicks need a team like this. And I liked it where it got chippy last week. Because you know what? It woke the Knicks effing up. It did. You know, like something did. And I know what people are saying, PJ Tucker, you know, that mentality, Schroeder or Schrader, whatever his name is, talking trash, standing over Brunson, and then like that woke the Knicks up. And I think this is what we need. I think game 1, and I remember telling Scoops 2 years ago, Paul, you remember when we were on the show and I said, watch whatever you're doing, watch that game. I think the Pistons are going to be like, oh my God, what is this on Saturday at 6 o'clock? Because they don't have experience. Like, and Tobias Harris, I mean, that's good that he don't have it. His experience is good. He's horrible in the playoffs. So I think that's good. So I think the Knicks get game 1 and 2. Game 3, Kenny, this is where I just think Detroit blitzes us. Blitz, like Tim Hardaway will have 14 3-pointers. We'll lose by 24. Game 4 is where Detroit's up late. Brunson hits a late 3. We steal it. And then game 5, we just blow the doors off again in New York. So I'm going to go Knicks in 5. Tough series. Carson, no, you nailed it. Everything changes with a loss here. Everything. Thibodeau, bye. Kevin Durant, let me hug you because you're here. Let me hug you. Everything changes with a loss here. Everything changes with if we're not competitive next round. We made moves to win an NBA championship now, not 3 years now. Like Carson said, now. So if we lose this series, mega changes and the first guy I'm watching is Tom Thibodeau because you, Carson, you mentioned Mr. Cade Cunningham, right? I better see coaching in this series. I just don't want to see switching. I want to see doubles. I want to see coaching. You got to coach here, Tom. You got to do something now. He does, right, Kenny? We talk about it all the year, all the time. I want to see something.
Oh, yeah.
I want to take him away right out of the gate. Take him away. If he doesn't, shame on him, and then bye. But I'm going to go Knicks in 5.
Nice. Yeah, I think obviously, the Knicks are the better, more experienced team in this series. Not going to lie, I'm just happy to see the Pistons are relevant again, and the progress that Trajan Langdon, our GM, our coach JB Bickerstaff, by the way, could seriously be in consideration for Coach of the Year this year, going from 14 wins to over 40 wins this year. Nobody expected the Pistons to be the 6th seed. So, like I said, game 6, game 7, wouldn't it be awesome if it got to a game 7? I'll go with the Pistons. Why the hell not? I hope it happens, and it should be a great series overall. But Isaiah Stewart, fellas, he is going to be this New Year's Tyrese Halliburton. You will be pissed off at him at the end of Saturday. I promise you.
Carson, I got a question for you real quick. Do you feel, because I feel like Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., like I kind of, what's his name? Schroeder? Schroeder, I kind of feel like, again, like my whole thing is this disrespect, right? It's kind of like they're really guys nobody wanted. Think about it. Bad contracts, teams just releasing them. Do you think, though, like, that makes it, like, is that why you think those, like, especially like those 3 guys?
Yeah.
Like, did that make it to, like, that team is like, you know what? Like, hey, we're going to give effort. We're going to show you, like, that we're not, like, these not good players that people are saying. Do you feel like that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think the chemistry's off the charts with this team. And like I said, Tobias got a ton of crap when he was in Philly. Schroeder's been bouncing around from team to team. You got like Malik Beasley, the greatest offseason signing by any team. Malik Beasley led the NBA in threes this year. That's a guy you don't want to mess with either. So, and I think, like I said, I'm so happy it's Pistons-Knicks, because if the Pistons got like the Pacers or an injured Bucks team, I don't think we would have gotten the prime time exposure like the New York Knicks are going to get with ESPN and TNT slots. And listen, boys, I'm telling Kate Cunningham is going to be an MVP winner in the next 2 to 3 years. That kid is the real deal, and you're going to see it in this series. But good luck.
Hey, Carson, one more question. I know we always talk about, you get to the playoffs, you really want to win. But with a team like Pistons, who had 14 wins last year, are you satisfied that they're in the playoffs? Or you're like, okay, they really got to win, and I'm going to be disappointed if they should lose this series?
I think I would be disappointed if we got swept. If we got swept, it would be like, all right, we had a great year, but we kind of totally choked in the playoffs. Pistons haven't had a playoff win in, I think, over 10 years, because when Blake Griffin and the Pistons, they got swept by the Bucks, I think, in 2018, 2019. So I'm hoping it gets to game 6. Game 5, we took one game, fine, but I just want to see good, hard basketball and be competitive and try not to get blown out, But yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I think just the season in general, getting the 6th seed is a huge improvement.
Kurt and Paul, Kurt always does this every year. He likes to put a star player in the freezer. Kate, last year it was Halliburton. Kurt, by the way, I'm getting some requests for you to do the Crybaby Carlisle again. But this year, we got one, boys. And there it is. We got to put Carson in the freezer. We got to cool him down a little bit. The Pistons had a number this year, guys. The Pistons had a number this year.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be between 8 and 8:30 Friday night. I will go live, and a little spoiler, his ass's pictures.
Let me know, Kurt. I'll be on the show if you want.
Oh yeah. I will let you. I'll shoot you a text.
Okay.
It's going to be Friday Night Live. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Who else to put you with? But you were going in that freezer.
Nice. I love it. Good stuff.
Love it.
Fun there, guys. We're going to hold off on the football question, Graham, for next week, because we're running short on time, and basketball, the playoffs, and NHL took most of the show. Couple comments I want to get to. So we got Keith saying, congratulations to the Cavaliers. I can afford to go to a game. Just got to get to Cleveland. LOL. Yeah, it costs you more to go from Montana to Cleveland than to get into the game. So it's crazy.
Though, Kenny, $48?
Yeah.
You're the 1 seed.
Hey, sign me up. I wish we were playing
I ain't paying
Cleveland.
$48 on Sunday, Saturday.
Oh yeah. So Eddie just asked to get tickets. He
We're gonna
does.
pay
and Jen,
$100 to park.
Yeah,
yeah,
only in New York.
exactly. $48 to
Yeah.
get over the bridge, Carson. Trevor's saying time for Cade Cunningham to go in the
How about
freezer.
this one? I
Kurt,
got
he's
wait.
laughing.
I gotta do again.
Hold on. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Kurt. And then Keith's got a
All right,
question,
one
and then we
quick
can
hit.
get our closing
When we went
thoughts
to the
in,
Big East
so.
semifinals, we always go to this one pretzel guy, and the pretzels were $5. There was another guy that I had to pay. I paid for 2 pretzels for me and Jen. How much do you think I paid for 2 pretzels, Carson?
Boy, $10.
Kenny.
Closer to 30 if I
Cool.
know New York.
Yeah, I was gonna say 25.
No, I think it was $7 a pretzel.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Not
The other
bad.
guy
Oh,
was
wow.
like 5, but it
Yeah.
might have been 7 or 8. I said $7 for a pretzel. The guy's like, "Hey, I'm closer to the garden."
Quickly,
You know, like,
guys, did you see the prices at the Masters of the food
Yeah.
in the concessions?
Yeah,
They
so
have never
cheap.
changed their prices. It's incredible how cheap food and drinks are at the Masters.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, a couple comments, and then we'll wrap it up with Keith's question. I know we got yours too, Paul. If we got time, we could do that as well.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
running
good,
short
Kenny.
on
So take
time
all the
here.
time you need. We're good. Yeah.
Okay, so we can get Paul's question in too. So this is a season from Trevor to build on for the Pistons. A bright young star in Cunningham. They just need a core of players to build around
Nice,
him.
Trevor.
Carson
Thanks,
from
dude.
Trevor. We'll get Keith first, and then we'll do Paul's second. Keith wants to know the MVP of the series for each of us. I don't want to take the easy way out, so I'll go sleeper. I'll switch it around, Keith, because I'm probably thinking a lot of us are going to say Brunson, and Carson would say Cunningham. I'm going to change it to a sleeper MVP of the series. I think my sleeper would be let's go OG Anunoby. Kurt.
I'm going to go a little different. If you guys remember last year, especially in that Indiana series, the guy never came off the court. He rebounds, scores, hits some threes. I mean, you're going to talk about the emotional leader on this team. Give me Josh Hart.
Paul, a sleeper for MVP in this series.
I can say Bridges with a big hope as a sleeper. I mean, obviously the ball's going to be in Jalen's hands at the end of games and stuff. So, but I'll say Bridges just as a sleeper.
And Carson, if Cunningham for some reason didn't get MVP,
Yeah,
who's your
I'll say
sleeper?
Malik Beasley. Asar Thompson, I think, is our best defender too, so I think he'll cause some problems a bit. So Asar or Malik Beasley.
Awesome. Great question, Keith. And we're going to wrap it up with Paul's bonus question for the night, and then we'll get to football next week with the draft. I think it'll be more appropriate to do that draft question next week.
Thanks, Kenny.
lined up.
So, just to stick with basketball for a second, Joker became only the 3rd player in NBA history to compile a triple-double this year. Russell Westbrook and Oscar were the only other 2 players to have a triple-double, obviously, points, assists, and rebounds. He's won 3 MVPs. Maybe he win his 4th this year. Obviously, a championship, maybe a 2nd this year. My question to you guys is, would you consider him now a top 10 or even a top 5 player in NBA history? Carson?
1,000%. I think when it's all said and done, there's a legit case that he could be the greatest center ever.
Kenny?
Top 10, definitely. He's right around top 5. So I would say he's getting close there. So he's right around that 5 or 6 range for me.
The only reason I'm going to say no, and what he has done has been extraordinary, right? But I think like the dominant factor, right? Like if you always looked like him or Shaq or him or, Jabbar, even like Ewing and Olajuwon, and like, I know he's better than those guys, but I just think like, he's a center, but he's more like a stretch 4 compared to those guys. So I'm going to say no, because like Wilt and Russell, like you got to put those guys, I still think, ahead of him. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the players that are in the top 10. I think we can all compile a top 10 list of greatest NBA players. Who would you replace out
Right.
of that list with him? That would be extremely difficult. But that being said, what he's accomplished, you can't overlook that.
Quick hitter, real quick, going back, Carson. Right now, if the career's ended, who would you rank as a higher top player? Curry or Jokic?
Curry.
Paul.
Wow.
I'm
gonna
going
say
Curry too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Curry.
Sweep.
Yeah.
Sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Last one, Eddie Murphy saying to Carson, I don't know if you've seen this stat, Carson, but Beasley has more three-pointers made than Larry Bird's career in the last 3 years. Shows you how different.
By the way, you'll
basketball
see
is
a bunch of shimmies going on from Malik Threasley in the series. So he'll give you a little dance after he makes one. So yeah, I did
He's
see
a
that,
problem,
Eddie. Crazy
Kenny.
stat. Crazy stat.
He's a problem for us.
Yeah, he is. But all right, guys, I think get some final thoughts in.
Started off. Listen, there's nothing like it. I'm a Bronco fan. I'm a St. John's fan. I'm an Auburn fan, and New York sports. We've seen it, but there's nothing like Madison Square Garden for a New York Knicks playoff game. It's going to be off the charts on Saturday at 6:00. I am pumped up to be there. I can't wait. And let's go, boys. Let's go on a long, long, long playoff run. Carson Shear.
Yeah, great show as always, boys. Love talking sports with you all. Big shout to everybody that was commenting in the chat. You guys are awesome. Please let us know any thoughts you guys have throughout the shows. Yeah, guys, great show. Graham, always good stuff behind the scenes. And Pistons versus Knicks, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And Cade Cunningham is going to be a household name at the end of this series.
Paul.
And Carson's going to be doing a lot of talk with the Carson Shear Show. Check him out on YouTube, Carson Shear Show. I know Graham always puts your link up in the chat there, so go give him a like and follow Carson doing his shorts on the series.
Great show, guys. Graham, thanks so much behind the scenes.
Thank you, Graham.
Everybody comments. Wonderful, wonderful chat today. Hey, listen, Kurt said it well. Saturday night in the greatest arena in the world, game number 1. It's going to start, and it's going to be tough. I'm not going to mince words. I know Pistons are going to come out hungry, and they want to eat. So Knicks better be ready, and it's going to be a long series.
Kenny, finish us up.
Thank you to the three of you for an amazing show. A lot of basketball talk tonight, and it was a lot of fun. Can't wait. Pistons, Knicks. We're going to have fun with Carson. Carson's going to have fun with us. Unfortunately, one of us is going to have to go home in the first round. I would have loved to have seen it later. But, awesome job from the audience. And last but not least, I am afraid of the Pistons. I don't have very much confidence. I'm a little nervous about the Knicks. So once again, I got to put my friend in the freezer to wrap up the show. Come on, Knicks. Cool Carson's Pistons down and cool him down a little bit. Let's go, Knicks.
Kenny,
Have
email
a good
me
night,
that
everybody.
picture. Kenny, email me that picture.
It's on the show.
Nice.
Oh, I got you.
I got it in the